Hello, my beautiful soul. Today, I would like to share a message to every parent, educator, and young person ready for change. Take a moment, look around you. Think about the people you know, your friends, your cousins, your former classmates. How many of them are doing today what they study for years to become? The IT graduate who spent 4 years learning programming, database management, and software architecture, who now works on a fruit farm in regional Australia. The mechanical engineer who returns to his hometown and opens a small noodle store. The accountant who trained for 3 years, passed her professional exams and now teaches yoga full-time. The marketing graduate who left her corporate job, bought a van and now repairs furniture in a rented garage. We look at this story and we shake our heads. We call it a waste, a loss, a disappointment. But here is the question no one seems to be asking. Is this happening everywhere? All at once, across every country and every industry, is it really the individual who are feeling, or is it the system that produced them? The numbers do not lie. Study after study show that a growing percentage of university graduates are working in fields entirely unrelated to their degrees. In many countries, this figure has surpassed 50%. Young people are walking away from career they spent half their childhood preparing for within the first 5 years of working in them. Government have poured enormous public funding into tertiary education, subsidizing tuition fee, building world-class universities, funding scholarships and grants, all in the belief that an educated population is thriving population. Parents have sacrificed sometimes everything to give their children the best possible start. Years of saving, years of an encouragement, years of quiet worry, and yet the people we invested in are living. They are not living because they are lazy. They are not living because they are ungrateful. They are not living because the life is too hard. They are living because they were never pointed toward themselves in the first place. Let us go back. Let us go all the way back to where this began, because the career crisis we are witnessing in our young adults did not start in the office. It did not start in the university lecture hall. It started much earlier. It started the moment a 5-year-old was told to sit still and stop asking so many questions. It started when a 7-year-old who loved drawing was told that art was not a real subject and to focus on mathematics instead. It started when a 10-year-old who was brilliant and with her hand who could build, repair and create anything was placed in extra tuition class to improve the exam score that would determine her entire future. Think about how we make decisions for our children. How many of those decisions are truly based on what the child loves, what the child is naturally drawn to, what makes the child's eye light up with genuine excitement, and how many of those decisions are based on what we saw trending on social media, what we read in news about high-demand careers, what our neighbors' children are doing, what we ourselves wishes we have done. We take a child, a whole, complete, complex human being with their own interior worlds, and we have And then a map we drew from our own fears and ambitions, and we are confused when they get lost. This is not a criticism of parents who love their children deeply. Most parents make this choice out of love, out of fear for their child's security, out of genuine desire to protect them from struggle and hardship. The intention is good, but the impact when applied across entire generation is devastating. We are not giving our children an education. We are giving them a cage with a certificate on the door. And children, because they are children, have no power to refuse. They cannot say no to the adult who raised them. They cannot advocate for themselves in a world that has already decided who they should become. So they adapt, they comply, they push down the part of themselves that do not fit the plan. They silence the questions they are told are inconvenience. They stop reaching for the things they were told are impractical, and they become very good at pretending. They pretend all through school. They pretend through university. They pretend through the first few years of their career, sitting in offices and attending meetings and warmly, quietly, privately, why they feel so empty when they are supposedly succeeding, and then one day they stop pretending. They quit, they leave, they start over, and we call it failure. But I want to tell you today, the moment of walking away, this is often the first truly honest thing they have done in 20 years. Let us talk plainly about the consequences, because this is not simply a personal problem, it is a collective one. When we consistently misdirect young people away from their genuine gift and abilities, we do not just lose their productivity, we lose something far more valuable. We lose innovation, we lose original thinking, we lose specific and repeatable contribution that only that one person could have made. Every human being is born with a unique internal configuration, a particular combination of instinct, sensitivities, curiosity, and capabilities that exist in no other person on earth. This is not metaphor. This is observable reality. The child who cannot stop building things, the child who read emotion in a room before anyone else notice, the child who asks questions that make adults uncomfortable because they cut too close to truth, the child who can look at a problem sideways and see a solutions that no one trained to face it head on ever found. These are not hobbies. These are not personality cures to be managed. These are the raw material of genuine contribution, the seeds of discoveries, invention, art, leadership, and healing the world genuinely needs. When we suppress those seeds because they do not match the shape of what we currently value, we do not just lose one person's potential, we lose everything that person will have created, shared, taught, and inspired. And on the personal level, the cost is even heavier. We are living through a mental health crisis of extraordinary scale. Depression, anxiety, burnout, and pervasive sense of meaninglessness are affecting young people at rates that would have been unthinkable 2 generations ago. These are not random illnesses. These are the predictable result of asking human beings to spend their most vital years performing a life that was never really theirs. Suppressed potential does not disappear quietly. It becomes pain. I want to share something with you now, something that has stayed with me across time. A memory that feels older than anything I can explain in conventional. There was a time, few thousand years ago, when we understood something about children that we appear to have forgotten entirely. We understood that every child who enters the world is not a blank page waiting to be written on. They are an ancient soul returning. They carry within them wisdom, accumulate across lifetimes. They arrive already knowing things, no facts, no textbook knowledge, but something deeper, an orientation, a pull towards certain truth, and a net sense of what they are here to offer. And our role as the adult who received them was not to teach, it was to remember alongside them. We did not hand children answer. We asked them questions, careful, patient, open question, and we wait. We trust that the right answers was already somewhere inside them, waiting to be found. When a child arrives at an answer through their own process of thinking and discovery, that answer becomes truly theirs, not borrowed knowledge, not memorized information, real life, understanding that could never be taken away. We never told a child they were wrong. We asked, what make you think of that? What might happen if you try it? What did you discover? We let experience be the teacher, because experience teacher in a way that no lesson plan ever can. We celebrate mistake loudly and without apology, because we understand that a child who makes a mistake and keep going is a child building something unshakable, resilience, confidence. The deep internal knowledge that they can face uncertainty and come through it. These are not things you can teach in a classroom. They can only be lived. We never ran children against one and another. There were no examination designed to sort the capable from incapable, the valuable from the less valuable. We knew with absolute certainty that comparison of this kind is destructive, not because it discourages the children at the bottoms, but because it distorts the children at the top too. It teaches every child that their worth is relative, that they are only as important as their position in a hierarchy, that they must compete rather than collaborate. Instead, we observe, we watch carefully to understand what each child was uniquely drawn to, what they were naturally exceptional at, what quality they possess that no other child in that community share. And then we name it. We say it aloud in front of others with pride and certainty. This is what you carry. This is what you are here to offer. This is what the world needs from you specifically. Can you imagine what it would do for a child to hear that? Not you score the highest or you are better than the other, but you have something within you that is entirely yours on, and it matters. No child in that community grew up feeling invisible. No child reached adulthood unsure of who they were. By the time they become adult, they have spent their entire childhood being guided, not toward a prescribed path, but toward the deepest, truest version of themselves. And because of that, when they came together as a community, they brought the full force of their individual gift and combined them. We built the pyramid not with the technology you have today, not with the machines or computer or modern engineering software. We built them because every single person involved understood exactly what they were capable of and gave it completely. There was no wasted human potential. There was no one breathing through a road that drained them. Every person was exactly where their gift can shine, and they knew it. That is what a society looked like when it raised its children correctly. This is not a call to dismantle school overnight. It is not a demand for perfect, immediate revolution. It is something quieter and more powerful than that. It is a call for each of us where we stand to make the difference. Choice, and then another, and then another.